So, welcome to the Wrestling Analyst Podcast, Beyond the Bell, special Royal Rumble edition. Tonight, we're diving deep into one of the most unpredictable nights in wrestling. I'll break down the superstars expected to return from injury, the potential shock entrants, and the names who might make their long-awaited comeback to WWE. We're also taking a close look at the two non-Rumble matches on the card, giving predictions, momentum, breakdowns, and what to watch for those when the bell rings. And of course, I'll reveal who I think is walking out as the winners, including my pick to outlast 29 other competitors and punch a ticket to WrestleMania. Let's get into it. This is the Royal Rumble like you've never seen analyzed before. So let's start with the women's Royal Rumble match. Who I think will return from injury? There's Bianca Belair, who's been out since WrestleMania last year, and I expect her to return this Saturday. As well as Tiffany Stratton. I think is going to come back. And someone who had a very freaky knee injury, I think she's ready to make a comeback. I saw her a couple of videos of her workouts and everything. And I think Zoe Stark is going to come back as a surprise entrant. But I think Zoe Stark is going to be there. From NXT, who I expect to be there, Jada Parker for, I think, a second or third time. I think Sol Ruca is going to be there. I'm pretty sure Blake Monroe is going to be there. And maybe possibly Zarya. And what I think with Zarya, seeing what happened on NXT last night, I think there could be something brewing there. Just picture this. Sol Ruca is in the ring. Zarya comes out and eliminates Sol Ruca. That would set up something. And I've been thinking about this for a while, and I've said it in one of my videos in the past. I think that at Stand and Deliver, it's going to be Sol Ruca versus Zarya. And that's I think that match is a lock. So anyway, I think that NXT participants are Sol Ruca, Jada Parker, Blake Monroe, and Zarya. They could be more than that. Maybe JC Jane. Maybe a Fallon Henley. We'll see. Maybe a Laney Reed. Maybe the whole Fatal Influence is going to be there. So, surprises now. I think WWE is going to keep their streak going. And I think they're going to invite Lei Ying Lee, the TNA Knockouts champion. Everyone in WWE knows her as Xia Li. And I think there's going to be a big return. There's a lot of rumors about that. But I think Paige is going to make her comeback to WWE. I think it's time. But I'm not saying she will be there. But I think that she could make her big comeback at the Royal Rumble. And who I think is going to win the Royal Rumble, I've been saying it for months now, and I think it's Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair is going to win the Royal Rumble, and she's going to challenge Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. And why do I think it's going to be Bianca Belair challenging Jade Cargill at WrestleMania? It's because I think that you will have an elimination chamber match that could be stacked with Liv Morgan, with Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Asuka, Liv Morgan, and Raquel Rodriguez. So you can have a stacked, or even a Lyra Valkyria too could be there. So you can have a really Becky Lynch. So you could really have a stacked elimination chamber match to face Stephanie Vaquer at WrestleMania afterwards. So that's why I think it's going to be a SmackDown superstar winning the Rumble and challenging Jade Cargill. So let's get to one of the two matches, the two other matches. For the WWE Undisputed Championship, Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre. Now, if this would have taken place at WrestleMania, I would have said that Sami Zayn would have won the match. But since it's taking place at the Rumble, and if you saw my video I made just last week, Drew McIntyre's road to Drew McIntyre, my fantasy booking I made on my podcast Sunday, you will know that I think I'm pretty sure Drew McIntyre is going to win. In fact, that's my prediction. Drew McIntyre is going to retain the title, and he's going to face Jacob Fatu and Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. Well, is Cody Rhodes going to be winning the Royal Rumble, or will he win the Elimination Chamber? He's going to win either one of those two. You can bet on that. So, what I think, just check out my video, my podcast from last Sunday. You'll see what I think is going to happen. Well, what I wish would happen with Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre. So let's get to the third match of the night, Gunther versus AJ Styles. As much as it pains me to say it, I think Gunther is going to retire AJ Styles. AJ's contract is coming to an end in February. And maybe what's going to happen, there's a lot of rumors going about this too, that Gunther would beat AJ, and AJ would go and do one last run in TNA. And it would make sense because WWE has a partnership with TNA right now. So this would make sense. And we saw it was all about Cena in 2025. But even then, we saw, with hindsight now, we saw some matches AJ Styles made, just like Saturday Night's Main Event with Shinsuke Nakamura, with the match with Cena. We almost saw that AJ Styles was also doing a retirement tour. So, like I said, as much as painful as it seems to me, I think Gunther is going to win and retire AJ Styles. As for the men's Royal Rumble, returns from injury or inaction, okay? I think LA Knight is going to make his comeback at the Royal Rumble. from injuries. Dominic Mysterio is going to come back. And there's something's going to happen with Dom and Finn Balor. I know Finn Balor has said that he wouldn't participate in the Royal Rumble because Adam Pearce said that the Rumble was full. But what I think is going to happen is that you will have some kind of entrant, a goofy entrant, let's say. Like last year, I Show Speed at some point. There's going to be an entrant, maybe R-Truth, and Finn's going to attack him and take his place in the Royal Rumble. I think this could happen. So during the Rumble, Finn and Dom could have interactions, maybe work together or something, and then Dominic Mysterio throws Finn Balor out. He just betrays Finn and he throws Finn Balor out. So that would be 2 times now that Dom betrays Finn. WrestleMania when he pinned Finn for the Intercontinental Championship, and at the Royal Rumble Saturday, he's going to betray Finn again. And that's going to plant the seeds for Finn's babyface turn and a face-off between Dom and Finn at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship. Participants from NXT, who I think is going to be there. Well, who I think are locks to be there. Of course, Obafemi is going to be there, but he's not in NXT anymore. But I think is going to make his official debut at the Royal Rumble. I think Ricky Saints is going to be in the Rumble. I think Ethan Page is going to be in the Rumble. And this one might seem like a surprise, but I think Lexis King is going to be in the Rumble. There might be others, of course, but those are the main 3 ones that I see. There could be others. You can even see Ilya Lafleur there. But those are the main 3 I think that's going to be there. Of course, Javon Evans. Javon Evans is injured, so I don't think he's going to be there. Now, a lot for the surprises. Of course, there's a lot of rumors about this, but I think we're going to see Chris Jericho make his return to WWE for a last WWE run. His contract is up, I think, and there's a lot of rumors that he's coming back. So I think Jericho is going to come back, maybe as number 30, so that they keep that surprise right for the end. And who's going to win? Well, it's going to be either Cody Rhodes to face Drew at Mania, and somehow between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, Jacob Fatu is going to be inserted in that match to make it a triple threat. Or somebody's going to pull off double duty and win the Rumble. And that man, I think, would be Gunther. And Gunther would go on to face CM Punk at WrestleMania to get the World Heavyweight Championship back from CM Punk. So there you have it. I think Bianca Belair is going to win the Women's Rumble. I think Drew McIntyre and Gunther are going to win their matches. And the Men's Royal Rumble, I think it's going to be either Cody or Gunther I don't see. Well, it could be Jacob Fatu, but I don't expect that. It would be a big surprise if it was Jacob Fatu. But I think it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be Cody Rhodes or Gunther, one or the other for me. If it's another one, I'm going to be very, very surprised. So who do you think is going to win the Royal Rumble? The women's and the men's. Who do you think is going to be the winner between Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre? And do you think that AJ Styles is done after this Saturday? Leave your answers in the comments and check out my podcast next Sunday.